chances of well-being is increased, okay, to put it simply. I'm going to start the webinar in just a moment. There will be a time for questions and answers afterwards. And there are also some preset questions and answers which are included in the presentation. I'd like to give my thanks to the MiraMate team who've assisted in the creation of the presentation, because I did a lot of it myself, and also we've been having a bit of a conversation about how to improve it. And so we've got lots of lovely content for you. We're focusing on sleep. We're also talking about other issues and how PEMF technology, especially that which is produced by MiraMate, can actually be of use to yourself. So let's, without further ado, so people say, get straight onto the presentation and start talking about stuff which matters. Okay, so we're going to increase the size of this somehow and start slideshow. Okay, using the big magic and mini magic. So we're trying to approach this from a practical standpoint, talking about its use, but also talking about what these devices are and the ways in which they can be beneficial to yourself. Okay, let me start off by giving you a medical disclaimer. I am not someone who is qualified in any medical discipline at all. I have a rather basic but good qualification in nutrition, and I've been using products from Spooky2 and MiraMate, as well as Hiwi, in order to improve my well-being. Always speak to your doctor, your naturopath, or whoever is appropriate and is qualified to help you with your health. And on top of everything else that they're doing for you, you can then do other things, such as using natural, non-chemical, non-invasive ways of improving the body's own healing capabilities. Okay? One would assume, hypothetically, that if you're not looking after yourself in lots of other ways, then it'll be, you know, that the healing will take more time or might be held back by something. So it's good to have a healthy way of life alongside your PEMF technology. All right, this is the ultimate question. Are you looking to upgrade your sleep? Okay, do you want to be able to go to bed at night and sleep so your body can heal? Experience in general demonstrates that PEMF from MiraMate is great for improving your body's general well-being in terms of pain control and harmonizing the energy of your body. It does something, it works on you. And I've used the mini magic myself for my sciatica and various injuries that I have sustained over the years. And I found it quite useful in reducing some pains, discomfort, and problems, alongside other techniques, of course. So we could say that pain, stress, and hormone disorders in both men and women can have an effect on your lack of sleep. And if you're not sleeping right, you can't really heal right either. So a way of giving yourself more healing to your armory, so to speak, when it comes to your physical health, is to use PEMF technology. Okay, there are many ways in which your sleep can be disturbed. Stress and anxiety are two of them, okay? Being out of sorts, lacking in vitamins and minerals, and also having injuries and pain. And as we get older, we do tend to get more injuries, all right? We do tend to get bits of the body which needs looking after. Taking action to help address these things is one of the things you can do with Big Magic. It is a wonderful piece of technology and it works amazingly for what it's good for. So if you do get any form of back pain, sciatica, knee pain, hip pain, neck pain, problems with your shoulders, all right, it's worthwhile investing in something which can ease the problem and therefore provide you with the sleep which you then need to help heal the injury or the problem which you're currently going through. So it's good. Simply, it's good. Now, if you were to go onto Google and you were to search around for information about PEMF, you may get different forms of opinion, but in general, the consensus amongst orthodox, proper medical practitioners is that PEMF is a novel, safe, and effective therapeutic tool for use in at least certain subsets of patients with chronic and non-malignant pain. Okay? So if you've got pain going on for a long period of time and you need some relief for it so you can live a normal, regular life and actually improve your well-being, get yourself healthier, a good place to look at is PEMF. All right? We can say it is useful for a wide variety of conditions. It's generally good for you. It's a wholesome, healthy thing to do. It's like eating your spinach, it's good for you. Traditionally used for pain management and tissue and bone healing. Very good for sciatica, knee pain and injury healing and boosting the body's own healing mechanisms. It's therefore good. It's just something else that we can do on top of eating healthily and a bit of exercise to bring us back on track. I personally use the mini magic a lot for various targeted forms of pain. It is genuinely used on thoroughbred racehorses. And if people are going to use this stuff for a sport from which they make a lot of money, then there's got to be a justification for it, not only in veterinary application, but also human applications as well. And it's historically established as beneficial, as I've already said, and it's the frequency and the polarity, as well as the strength of the magnetic field, which is right for the body, which is what makes it good. And everything that MiraMate has done for these products has been designed to maximize the potential, as well as keep the cost reasonably, affordable for most people. Okay, now let's have a look at how this stuff actually works, because it's great me coming on your screen and telling you like this stuff's great, but how and in what ways? It targets your body at a cellular level to stimulate cell metabolism. So it's like going in there with all your various different unwell cells and giving them a bit more energy, giving them a bit more strength so that they can do their job. Numerous disorders and diseases and injuries benefit from PEMF, and there are no harmful side effects really associated with just like the ones you get from prescription drugs. You don't get that with PEMF. There is nothing going into the body chemically which could then increase toxicity and so on and so forth. It's a completely safe and natural form of treatment, proven in countless scientific studies. Okay, this is not sort of like wishful thinking. It's proven in countless scientific studies to provide good results, and everyone, everywhere can benefit from PEMF, including your pets. Let's say, I know you've got a dog who's got an injury, you can line the dog's bed with a PEMF mat and allow him, her, it or they to get well. All right. Now, this is a little bit of information for those of you who don't know about PEMF. Okay, it is used these days, today, very widely. On the left-hand side of the screen, you see a picture of they make a lot of money, then there's got to be a justification for it, not only in veterinary application, but also human applications as well. And it's historically established as beneficial, as I've already said, and it's the frequency and the polarity, as well as the strength of the magnetic field, which is right for the body, which is what makes it good. And everything that MiraMate has done for these products has been designed to maximize the potential, as well as keep the cost reasonably, affordable for most people. Okay, now let's have a look at how this stuff actually works, because it's great me coming on your screen and telling you like this stuff's great, but how and in what ways? It targets your body at a cellular level to stimulate cell metabolism. So it's like going in there with all your various different unwell cells and giving them a bit more energy, giving them a bit more strength so that they can do their job. Numerous disorders and diseases and injuries benefit from PEMF, and there are no harmful side effects really associated with just like the ones you get from prescription drugs. You don't get that with PEMF. There is nothing going into the body chemically which could then increase toxicity and so on and so forth. It's a completely safe and natural form of treatment, proven in countless scientific studies. Okay, this is not sort of like wishful thinking. It's proven in countless scientific studies to provide good results, and everyone, everywhere can benefit from PEMF, including your pets. Let's say, I know you've got a dog who's got an injury, you can line the dog's bed with a PEMF mat and allow him, her, it or they to get well. All right. Now, this is a little bit of information for those of you who don't know about PEMF. Okay, it is used these days, today, very widely. On the left-hand side of the screen, you see a picture of they make a lot of money, then there's got to be a justification for it, not only in veterinary application, but also human applications as well. And it's historically established as beneficial, as I've already said, and it's the frequency and the polarity, as well as the strength of the magnetic field, which is right for the body, which is what makes it good. And everything that MiraMate has done for these products has been designed to maximize the potential, as well as keep the cost reasonably, affordable for most people. Okay, now let's have a look at how this stuff actually works, because it's great me coming on your screen and telling you like this stuff's great, but how and in what ways? It targets your body at a cellular level to stimulate cell metabolism. So it's like going in there with all your various different unwell cells and giving them a bit more energy, giving them a bit more strength so that they can do their job. Numerous disorders and diseases and injuries benef Okay, it is used these days, today, very widely. On the left-hand side of the screen, you see a picture of someone using PEMF in the form of the Big Magic to help with a neck, shoulder, or head injury. And on the right, you can see someone with a larger, more specific variety of coil being used to help heal a horse of an injury. So the question you need to ask yourself is, why not use PEMF therapy on your own body to help yourself out? Why not? Okay. You're not a racehorse, you're a human being, you deserve wellness. Then it's a question of what direction to go in if you want to go down the PEMF route. All right. Is it for the mini magic, or is it for the big magic, or indeed both? If it's acute, if it's localized, if it's like a particular region of your body that needs work, go for the mini magic. It's great. It is wearable. You can turn it on and off throughout the day if you wish. And you can give yourself numerous sessions throughout the day, just keeping the coil stuck to your skin or underneath some variety of elastic, stretch fabric, holding it onto whichever parts of the body is required, the abdomen, the back, the arm, the leg, whatever. If it's chronic or generalized, then you can go for the big magic. And you can put that on your bed, you can put it on the chair you normally sit in, you can give yourself long treatments with it. And the big magic is great because it's good for long treatments. Okay, so as I said, mini magic deals with localized issues, big magic for chronic and larger areas. The mini magic can be used with 2 single coils or 2 quad coils. All right, so that's 4 little individual coils in a square, basically, and that will cover a larger area. So if you're not sure precisely where the causal area is for your sciatica, then maybe you want to use larger coils to cover a larger area. Does that make sense? Okay. And the big magic, it has a whopping great mass. It's big enough for larger areas of the body to lie on, your legs, your back, whatever. So you can focus it on key areas, but also cover a larger area at the same time. And having it under your mattress or under your pillow can be great when you're concerned about sleep issues. And there we go. There's a picture. You got on the left-hand side of the screen, there's the box, which is to operate the mat, which you can see at the bottom, which is the big magic. That's the big magic kit. And on the right-hand side, you can see the mini magic, which is pocketable, portable, and it has coils which you plug into it. And you can see in this image, it's just the single coils, which you can have either stacked or either side of different parts of where the problem is, in order to do yourself some good. So now you're familiar with what they look like. Now let's go on the working theory behind the big magic. Okay. The big magic works by sending a very brief magnetic pulse into the areas of your body affected by chronic pain. So it's beep, 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 beep. Okay, it's pulsing it specifically to try and help the problem. These pulses create a low and completely safe frequency of an electrical current in the tissues. Because if you get magnetic pulses, there's something else which receives it, then that will be being turned into a kind of like an electric current through induction. A bit like how the coils on a loudspeaker work to move the magnet. But this, with your cells, gives them more energy to repair damage and stimulate the growth of the stem cells. Okay? Stimulating the growth of the stem cells from which your body can make more life. The big magic has been optimized for very long treatments, so that's why you can shove it in your chair when you're working. You can shove it onto the seat of your car when you're driving for hours and hours. You can put it, underneath your bed sheet, and it gently applies the single and gentle and healing frequency. The frequency is applied in one direction for 10 minutes and then changes direction for another 10 minutes. So the body maintains equilibrium and doesn't become either magnetically charged or there being any metabolic waste being created as a result of the electrical activity in the cells, which will then need shifting, because it's balancing the polarity. 10 minutes one way, 10 minutes the other way. And therefore it's good. Maintains the frequency, but it also gives you that state of equilibrium as well, which you don't really get from other forms of PEMF, because a lot of them are rather brute force. They're rather aggressive with the power that they give off, and they're not designed to take into account balancing the body and getting the body working right. Okay? And the frequency is like a simile or similar to the natural frequency of the Earth, which is the Schumann resonance, because there's a Schumann resonance band and there's faster and slower bits of it, because it's all alternating around the, what's it, 7.83 cycle per second. And it's the frequency we've evolved with. We haven't evolved with Wi-Fi. We haven't evolved with the 50 hertz coming out of the main socket. We haven't adjusted to a lot of the stuff which we're exposed to, and getting the frequency back in balance the way it should be and is healthy for the body is a good thing for your general well-being. Okay, now I'm going to talk about how the big magic can be used. It's very simple. And the wonderful thing about the MiraMate range is that it's all very simple and very easy to use and doesn't require all that much knowledge. Okay, you simply plug it into a power socket and connect the other ends of the cable to the actual big magic mat. You can place the magnetic mat under the sheets of your bed. Wrap it around your leg or other parts of the body where you feel the pain. So if you've got your, let's say the whole of your calf is inflamed, you could wrap it around that, turn it on, let it run. Maybe hold the mat in place with some elastic bands or some string or something just to hold it in place. Make sure you don't cut off the circulation. Use some stretch fabric around it to hold it in place, whatever. Then just turn the unit on and choose the power level that's right for you. That's all. That is all. No need for a pilot's license, no need for an engineering degree, okay? This is there for regular people so they can get themselves well nice and easy. Right, it is a waterproof mat, but you don't submerge it in water. You don't put it into the bathtub. Use your common sense. It'll, you know, it's still an electrical device. And there we see an image of where it gets plugged in. Okay, quite common complexity about the device. It doesn't require programming, and it's just all going to, it'll just do its job. Now we're going to talk about the Mini Magic, which is the smaller, lightweight, more portable device with much smaller coils, or alternatively the quad coil setup. Now this is a different device. It's a different animal. It's therefore to be used in a different way. So Mini Magic uses very brief magnetic pulses again to stimulate the growth of stem cells again. Okay, it's good. These pulses create a lower and completely safe frequency of electrical current into your tissues, giving them more energy to repair the damage. Okay, so if you're injured, it's good to use PEMF on top of anything else you're being given by the doctor. Your cells are incredibly small. To stimulate healing, the magnetic pulse must also be small and of just the right type for the problem. If the magnetic pulse is generated in the correct shape and pattern, healing is faster. This is what the Mini Magic does. It generates its magnetic pulses of the right shape or the right waveform or the right type and of the right strength so that you end up getting better physical healing. It's therefore essentially a good thing. And what we're talking about here is stem cell activation, which can't be bad for anyone. Mini Magic has 3 different power levels, unlike the Big Magic, which has 2. And it's there to suit everyone's needs. Maximum power should be used for severe pain or deep tissue damage. Okay, I'll say that again. Maximum power should be used for severe pain and deep tissue damage, whereas other conditions will require a bit less. Okay? Now, once again, the instructions for using MiraMate's Mini Magic. Okay, we've got a slight typographical error at the top of the screen there. It is for the Mini Magic. It's also very simple. Unclip and unwind the single coils from the Mini Magic. Take the coils off, basically. Okay? Position the coils where you want to on the body. Now, these can be applied with the stretch fabric strips provided, or you could be using, in my case, what I like to use is surgical breathable tape, which is what the nurse would normally use to put the little cotton swab on where you would normally have your blood test. Okay, that type of tape is called a microporous tape, is what I tend to use. Set the desired power level using the 3-position rotary switch. So 3 for a lot of healing required and 2 and 1 for not as much, then you just turn it on. So once again, you don't need a degree in engineering, you don't need a pilot's license, you don't need to understand how to design or write apps. You just need to basically plug it in, put the coils on your body, turn it on, set the power, and you are rocking and rolling. You're doing it. You're actually taking your PEMF therapy. Now, the single coils and the quad coils they can wear out, but they are also very cheap. So it's recommended that you replace them every 3 months, possibly sooner, possibly not as long. If you're using a coil tester, then you can work out whether it's still producing power and work out whether you want to place an order. Or you could, just prepare in advance ahead of time and make sure you've got your coils in stock. Okay. Now, to make sure you're getting the right quantity of power, pay attention to the way in which the cable is plugged into the device, because if it's not plugged in right, you're not going to get your PEMF. You'll be wasting your time. So pay attention to this little infographic we got right now and how important that is and what that's teaching. Okay. Right. Now we got a graphic which shows different combinations of the use of the coils. You can create a larger area if you place them side by side, in this case illustrated underneath the sweatband, or you can stack them to shoot more power into the body, or you can have one above and below the problem. So you need to use your creativity, you need to use your problem-solving ability to work out what is the best way of using this device. What we're talking about here is complementary health at home, and so therefore use your common sense as to how to deliver the power. Then give yourself a fair few sessions with that particular arrangement, see if that helps, and if it doesn't, then maybe change the arrangement of the coils. Okay, we do suggest using these devices at the higher power setting initially to try and kickstart the process of the healing. And then with time and for maintenance or long-term treatments, you can go down to lower power levels. Okay? Because sometimes with some conditions, we think we're getting better, but we don't want to push ourselves. We want to carry on working on the healing of the body. To penetrate deeper for localized treatments, stack the coils together. Rough sides, not smooth sides, but rough sides together. And the smooth side goes against the skin on the targeted area. Does that make sense? Okay. To penetrate deeper, stack the coils together, rough sides together, smooth side on the skin.
MiraMate.
Okay, so as you can see, the device is very easy to use. It's very simple. It actually looks very elegant. Both the Mini Magic and the Big Magic, the device looks just right. And it will help you on your journey. That's all I can really say there. So let's think about contraindications. Are there some people who should not use this stuff? To the best of our knowledge, we want to encourage caution for those who have implanted electrical devices. People who are pregnant, if you're carrying a child, we don't quite know how the PEMF is going to affect the pregnancy, so we're going to try and steer you away from it. Or people with organ transplants, because it could boost your immunity to the point whereby there'll be organ rejection, and you don't want that. So there are some cases, including those with implanted metals, who really should think about avoiding PEMF, just in case there is something else which could go wrong, and we certainly don't want to be liable. So again, use your wisdom, use your intelligence, use your intuition, and do what's essentially right for you. In general, for the vast majority of people, PEMF is safe. So you shouldn't have to worry too much. Self-healing is always at your own risk. However, PEMF is still a useful healing modality to increase wellness. Just think about increasing stem cells. Do some research, do some Googling into stem cells and how important they are, and the fact that this device could actually help you with that. All right. There are other PEMFs out on the market. What MiraMate provides is essentially the best, and this is why. The programs warm up They don't stress your body up too much. They increase in power. They increase the frequency to the right level bit by bit as part of a process. It's delivered bidirectionally, which means the body won't become affected by the singular polarity. Balance will get restored. Okay. Right. It looks like we've got some input from the main parent account here, which is owned by John White. Would you like to speak to us? Okay, so as I was saying there, we do have the ability to have the bidirectional PEMF, which you don't get from other devices, okay, to the most part. Your body will not become habituated to the signal, therefore the effectiveness of the healing over a longer period of time can be expected above other devices out there. Let's have a look at some of the main benefits of PEMF. The body's natural ability to recover will be stimulated. It corrects cellular dysfunction throughout the body, stimulates and exercises cells to recharge them, to give them the ability to live better and to have, you know, a better existence doing their job within your body. Gives patients more energy naturally, improves athletic performance. So if you're one of these gym rats who likes to go out and, you know, pump iron or whatever it is you like to do, then it would be good for you to use PEMF as a means of stimulating yourself, just like the racehorses. You know, they're treated for both injuries and to improve their performance. You could do the same for yourself. Reduces inflammation and pain, helps you recover faster from injuries. Chronic inflammation in joints and the soft tissues can also be reduced. Chronic fatigue symptoms can also be affected as well. So on top of other forms of healing modality, for those who are CFS sufferers, this could be very good for you. If it's helping the cells, it could be helping the ATP, and ATP is a very serious part of the whole chronic fatigue issue, okay? Also, issues with peripheral neuropathy can be assisted with an extra wellness there. Osteoporosis and poor wound healing. Okay, what parts of the body are often treated with PEMF? Basically nearly anywhere, okay? Ankles, back, elbows, hips, knees, and shoulder. All of these things can be adjusted or treated with this stuff. So wherever there is a problem, you can start bringing some goodness in. Now, we've got some great reviews on the MiraMate website. They are real people with real testimonials. On the right-hand side, you can see there's video testimonials that you can watch as well. And they could give you possibly some kind of insight as to how these things can be of benefit to yourself. And you may be able to think creatively as to how you could use it for your own well-being. Okay, here's two of them. Okay. The Big Magic is a great product. I can sleep a lot better. It helps my mum lessen her nerve pain due to shingles. We'll buy another one instead of sharing it between me and my mother. Okay. The other one said, I had pelvic conditions, used to visit the bathroom 5 times a night. Now with the use of MiraMate Big Magic, for 2 weeks, I'll visit the bathroom only twice a night. So MiraMate Big Magic is excellent. These are real people, real experiences, and I think they speak for themselves. Here we go, another short testimonial, but this is a bit themselves. Here we go, another short testimonial, but this is a bit White raising her hand, and we will ask to unmute.
Yeah, hi Nick. Can you check the around your chat box button? If you just remove our audience and they can't raise their questions here.
Okay, so which button do you want me to click on now?
The chat box button.
The chat box button. Show chat previews.
Yeah, wait a moment.
Have we
Our
sorted
chat
that out yet?
again.
Apologies to the audience for the technological difficulties we've been having today, but we will get it sorted out one way or another. In the meantime, I'll carry on answering your questions.
If you just remove our audience and they can't raise their questions here.
Okay, so which button do you want me to click on now?
The chat box button.
The chat box button. Show chat previews.
Yeah, wait a moment.
Have we
Our
sorted
chat
that out yet?
again.
Apologies to the audience for the technological difficulties we've been having today, but we will get it sorted out one way or another. In the meantime, I'll carry on answering your questions. Next question. By the way, in the Domo videos, the audio is very poor and almost inaudible. I do apologize that the audio was no good for you. Although I think most people should be able to hear it because you put that through a test. I don't know whether that's something up with your computer. I don't know. It is suggested that a lithium 9-volt battery be used in the MiraMate. Can an alkaline battery be used equally as well? I would say it can be used, but not equally as well. It's bound to lose its power more quickly. Lithium is a much better choice. So if you can get your hands on lithium 9-volt batteries, you'll have a much better experience. But you can use regular 9-volt batteries and change them out every few hours, every 6 hours maybe or less. Can you use the MiraMate when you're using other SpookyTube products in the scalar field or even using the generators? I'm going to say yes, but not when you're scanning, not when you're doing a bioscan with your Generator X or you're doing your pulse scan. But when you're just running programs, go for it. Fill your boots, enjoy it. Can MiraMate be used to help pain on rheumatoid arthritis on both hands? Yes. You might want to treat one of them for 45 minutes, then treat the other one for 45 minutes, or indeed just get 2 MiraMates and have both of them going at the same time. Okay? That will be the small coil, one at the front of the hand, one at the back. And keep it in place with that lovely little sweatband that will be provided. Is there a way to add different frequencies with SpookyTube programs like you can with the coil and the generators? Not yet. And I don't know whether that's going to be part of the plan for the future, but for the moment, that's not in with the thing. Okay. Can you sleep on the big magic whilst also using a spooky scalar? I don't see why not at all. The only issue would be is if you're doing something like hunt and kill or scan and run, and the device will be going through its scanning functions because it'll probably be really, really heavily picking up the frequency of the PEMF max as opposed to the frequency of the pathogens in your body. So when you're running programs, fine. When you're scanning, no. Can I ask about which MiraMate is best for eczema and allergy? I would go for the big magic for that because you're trying to treat a large area of the body and your eczema could easily be connected to other systems within the body which also need help. So including like the digestive tract and getting that clean. So if we're just talking about using MiraMates, then go for the big magic for that. But also I would be inclined to think about using SpookyTube technology in the form of hunting down any form of pathogens you've got in the body that could be making the situation worse, as well as running detox frequencies. Okay, final question in the question and answer section says, I have rods inside my long bones of my 2 legs. I don't ring in the airport. Can I use the mini? Okay, so you're saying you don't get like the metal detector thing going off in the airports, but you've still got metal in your legs. I would be inclined to try and use the mini magic on other parts of the body if you felt inclined to use it, and to keep away from the area where there is metal, because I personally would find it difficult for me to advise you doing something which could possibly be detrimental. I might easily be wrong, I know that, but as far as my advice is concerned, would be use it to treat with the small coils on other parts of the body and avoid where there is metal in your body, because I want to keep you safe and I don't want to say something that could possibly be detrimental. Does that make sense? Okay, well, one more question. If I have peripheral neuropathy in my feet, would it be best to use the coils on my feet, or should I use the mat under the lower parts of my legs' feet? Which will be more effective? Have you considered using the mat under your feet during the night when you're sleeping, and using the coils held in place by tape or a sweatband or something similar during the day? I would actually be inclined to have both. All right. All right, we're still using the question and answer section. If you've got more questions to ask me, now's the time to put this in. Right, I've been asked to replay the videos from the YouTube channel. Bear with me a second, let's see if I can find it. Okay. Quickly go onto my YouTube here and go onto MiraMate and see what we can see. All right, there's lots of MiraMate videos there. I don't know if I can find those specific ones, but I can show you a few more. Bear with me a second, please. This one, oh, hang on a second, here we go. Okay, we're going to go about to go on to the first video again.
Contains no accessories. A pair of single coils, a Velcro strap, a velvet bag, a coil tester, and a running sheet. This is the small box and the large one. The small box contains the wristband, 5-volt power adapter, the USB cable. There are 3 options to supply power to MiraMagic: the 9-volt battery, the portable power supply, or the main power using the 5-volt power adapter. Clicking the 9-volt battery compartment, gently press this tab, then go through it. It is important to have the battery aligned correctly with the positive terminal on the right-hand side. To close, secure the lid over the tab and gently close. Do not use excessive force. The next step is to plug the coil into MiraMagic. Locate the socket on the side. Make sure the coil is fully inserted into the socket. You can set the desired power level using the 3-position rating switch. Level 3 is the one most people prefer. MiraMagic using a switch located on the right side. The light will blink. If you test your coils to see that they are working properly, you place the coil tester over the top of the coil. The red light should flash regularly during operation. There are two sides for the coils. There's a smooth side and a bumpy side. The coils must always have the smooth side touching the skin. You can use the big band on the waist or other large areas. You can use the small band on the wrist or other small areas. Insert the coils into the S-band to have the coils across the treatment area. In this example, the coils will face each other. When using an edge band in a large area, you will likely want the coils side by side. Test the lower limit into your waist with the belt clip. When you're done with your treatment, be sure to turn the unit off. You can wrap the wire around the motor. Store the MiraMagic with the motor, the coils, and the wire into the velvet bag. MiraMagic is portable and easy to use. You can use it anywhere and anytime. It is great for a person on the go. Whether you're at home or at the office, or just resting on a park bench, you can take out your MiraMagic and enjoy your treatment. MiraMagic is easy to set up, easy to use. With the portability of MiraMagic, you can take it with you to do your chores, go on a hike, or even take a walk in the garden. With MiraMagic, you can get back to the things that you really enjoy. For more information, please see MiraMate.com/MiraMagic.
Okay. Okay, that's that done. Now we'll have a look at the next one if I can find it. Bear with me a second, please. Go back to the chat. Sugar.
A possible scenario. A PE and a big magic magnet. 1. Or a regular pencil. 2. Level 2 is the one we need to manage. However, if you are sensitive to magnetic fields, you can set to level 1. Use the power switch to turn on big magic. A power indication light illuminates when big magic is connected to power and switched on. Another indication light flashes during treatment. The top breathing light can be toggled on and off using the breathing light button. 4. Test. Use the Coil tester to check the functionality of big magic. Use the Coil tester in the PE. Flashing indicates a magnetic field is present. We now need to reposition the tester until it lights. 5. Treat. Place the mat under the area you wish to apply PEMF treatments. Registered treatment time is 3 hours or more. For overnight treatments, place the PEMF mat under your bed sheet. Thank you for watching this video.
Okay, so I'm now going to get the third video on again. I do apologize for any audio problems we may be experiencing at the moment. 1 moment, please. Okay, so that's the 3 videos.
There is a riddle that you still seems wrong even if you know.
Too much YouTube going on in the background there, so I do apologize for that. Okay, so that's that part done. I hope that the videos were clearer this time. I don't know whether they were or not, but let's hope for the best. We got a couple of other questions here. One of them relating to my comment about whether it will be cheaper to use the 6% off now or whether it will be cheaper at Christmas time. I have no knowledge of what the pricing is going to be around Christmas time, so you might as well buy early and get some money off and get yourself a brand new device which will do the job. That's just what I would do. But on the other hand, that says more about me than it does about you, because I tend to start all my Christmas shopping in July or August anyway. Okay, so it's up to you. It's up to you. But either way, the 6% offer is out there now. And it would be worthwhile, you know, thinking about how you could take advantage of that while it's there. And I'm glad you like my flower and nature background. Thank you. All right, now the next question is, how is the skin applicator different than the PEMF coil from the generators? Okay, the coils for MiraMates have been designed for MiraMates. They've been designed to be able to handle and deal with the frequencies and the power the way in which it should be for the specific application of PEMF for the purposes of helping with things like your stem cell growth and repairing tissues. It's therefore designed specifically for purpose. So I think you need to think about that. I mean, the one which comes with the Spooky 2 Spooky Central is designed more to be used alongside plasma to try and bring the plasma energy to the specific location. Like when you've got a specific cancer in a place, you can use the magnetic coil as a means of helping all the power and all the healing to go specifically to that particular place. The coil has also been used and designed to be used with vials, so you can put water on top or little things in the hole in the middle, and then treat those liquids with the energy of the frequency. The MiraMate coils are not designed for that. They're designed specifically to treat the body, either in specific areas in the form of the single coil or quad coil on the mini magic, or on the larger area in terms of the mat itself. Okay. So it's a specifically different tool, so to speak. All right. Do we have any more questions? Do we have any more questions? Put them into the question and answer section now, and then we will work things out as they come up. I'm just going to give you another, let's say, 60 seconds for that, so that if there is another question, I can answer it. And then we'll probably call this presentation to a close.